Okay, so we'll wrap it up today with one last question, which is, does the seam matter on a golf ball? Okay, it did a long time ago. You guys all remember when Pro V1 came out, the dimple pattern on the professional golf ball, kind of the dimples along the seam, and everybody wants. Let me back up a little bit. Somebody say seamless, and your ball has a seam, and their ball doesn't, and his ball has a seam, and his doesn't. Every single golf ball has a seam. Okay. Someone says it's seamless. It's impossible. You got a solid sphere, a solid cover with something inside. How did it get inside? If it's got no seam and it's got nothing in there, how do you get it inside? You know, you can't make up stuff like Bewitched and force something in. There's a seam. Two halves go together. What happens is that some manufacturers just put two halves together, and then some stagger, like a sine wave. But there is still a seam that comes together. So you stagger the sine wave and you eliminate the visual part of it, but it's still there. It still has to be buffed, a secondary operation. It has to be taken off smooth and then painted. But when there was a problem with seaming it, if you teed it up, we'll use this as along the seam and then this as across the seam. When you used to tee it up, when Pro V1 first came out and you teed it on the seam, there was a difference in distance. It was significant. The USGA has a test that has to be make it pass. It's called the symmetry test. So when you tee a ball up this way or this way, they have to fly the same distance within a couple yards and land within less than half a second of each other. So it's impossible now for us to make a golf ball. If you put it on the seam, it's going to go further because it'd be illegal. So it was corrected, it's fixed. In some people's minds, they still use it. It's a psychological thing, but there is no distance difference in it. The problem that ended up happening was when you hit it on the seam off the tee, then you get out in the fairway and you look down and you say, oh geez, where's the seam? Oh boy, it's this way. So how much am I gonna add when it's at an angle? It became an issue. It's been fixed. So no matter how you tee the golf balls up today, if they're on the conforming ball list and they're listed in the USGA and can be used in tournaments, they have to pass a symmetry test. And that symmetry test means that no matter how you tee it up, there's no difference in distance.